everyone, it's Nisha. So today I wanted to demonstrate for you how I cream contour. Cream contour is something new to me. I've always thought it would be very difficult, but actually I think it's much easier. It takes a longer time because of the blending, but I think it looks much more natural and it's easier. If you put too much, if you make a mistake, it's so much easier to blend out because it is cream. It's like working with foundation or concealer. Whereas with powder, once you put that powder there, it's very hard to blend it out. And as you know, I got sent Aesthetica skincare cream contour kit. It is beautiful. It looks very much like Anastasia, but I think it's cheaper. It comes in a beautiful box. It tells you all the colors of the highlighters and contour colors. You also get a leaflet which explains to you exactly how to use it for different shapes of your face, tells you how to use it. Then even inside here you have this face that you can see how to do it, and here are your contour colors. You can take these out because they sell them separately as well, so once you've used it you can replace it, or you can just fill it up with the ones that you use, because obviously you probably won't use them all. But there is a color for everyone, I would say here. Maybe if you are very, very dark with a very, very deep brown skin, you probably won't be able to use it, because I've used the darkest one as my contour. I could probably get away with that one. But yeah, I think I like this one. I also have the powder contour kit, which again comes with this, with instructions, and here are all your powders. It is beautiful. I've used them both because obviously when you're working with cream contour, you first start with just foundation. You don't powder anything, otherwise it would be very difficult to blend out. But then you have to set that cream with powder, and you could just set it all over with a translucent powder, you know, like one that doesn't have any color, or you could go over with the powder contour kit to, you know, emphasize it all a bit more. I've also used a beauty sponge. It is just like beauty blender. Okay, so if you want to see how I cream contour, keep on watching. So let me pin my hair. So all I have done is put my foundation on, and you don't want to powder it. You want to just leave it like this, because once you've put the powder, you can't really put cream on the top of it. First of all, I will conceal my under eye area, and I'm using LA Girl Pro Conceal in Creamy Beige. And I use it in that triangular shape. And what I do first is pat it with my finger, or you can use your beauty blender. As you can see, I've already done my eye makeup, so the beauty blender might mess it up a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to take the contour kit, and now I'm going to concentrate first on the darker areas. And you have 3 different colors, depends how dark you are, and also if you want more cool or more warm bronze. This is the cooler one, this is the more warm one. So I'm going to use the cooler one. And now you can use a brush with it, you can use a finger with it. I'm going to use just a thin synthetic brush, and this contour is so creamy. And I'm going to start with the cheeks. Now, a lot of people tell you that you should go feel for your cheekbone and go underneath it. I don't necessarily agree with that unless you've got lovely high cheekbones. I can hardly feel my cheekbone and it's so low. Honestly, I swear I don't have cheekbones. And if I really feel it, my cheekbone is quite low. So if I contour that low, my cheeks will look even lower. So I want to go a bit higher. I like to go from the top of the ear towards your mouth. Obviously, don't go as far as your mouth, but about here. So I sort of go just on the top of my cheekbone, not on the top, but like the lower portion of my cheekbone, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to draw this line. And I know it looks scary, but because it is a cream, it will be very easy to blend out. So I want to contour my cheekbones. I also have quite large forehead, because remember, you're going to contour differently, depends of the shape of your face. And I've got quite big forehead, so I want to make it smaller. So remember, if you want to retract things, make them smaller, you put darker shade on it. Don't go too close to your hairline, because remember, you're going to be blending it out. And you go as low as you want to make your forehead low. Okay, now a lot of people contour their noses. I don't feel the need. I mean, I could, but I feel I've got quite slim nose. So the point of contouring your nose is to make it slimmer, I suppose. And I don't feel like my nose needs to be slimmer. But if yours is, wherever the nose is wider, that's where you would contour with the darker color. Another thing you can do is put it under your mouth to retract this portion of your chin, so your bottom lip looks a bit fuller. Again, I already have that, so I don't need to do it. But I would like to have a sharper jawline. So you can go down on here. And I will go a bit down. Only on the sides. I want to slim this side of my neck. Now, if you had quite wide face this way, if you had quite square face, you would shade here. Mine is a bit wide here, so I might go a bit up here. Now with another synthetic brush, I am going to go into highlighter, and I think I'm going to, this one is probably not showing, it's very yellow. I am probably going to mix this one with the beige one. This one is a bit too dark for me for highlight. So I mix these two, and again I will want to now highlight obviously the part that I didn't shade. I like to highlight here as well, you know, these lines that you have here. Highlight above your lip. Now I've got quite small chin. I would like my chin to be more prominent and pointy, so I put some on the edge of my chin, down the middle of my nose, but I don't need it as much, as we said, because my nose is already quite slim. And then we want to highlight this part of our forehead, and it doesn't matter if you go this way, how you paint it is up to you. And to make your cheek sharper, you would go under here. But I think I'm going to blend that out first, and then I go with the highlighter underneath. It'll be a bit cleaner finish. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Beauty Blender and I'm going to blend out the highlight first. So let's do our highlight first. And also it will be easier to blend the contour shade into the light one than other way around. I like to go with the highlight right to my temple, so you get that lifted look. And as you can see, because this is a cream, it's so easy to blend out. Okay, so that's my highlight blended. Now I'm going to blend the contour. And you could do it again with that, but I'm going to try with a synthetic, a little dual fiber brush. And this one is by Malika Jafrin. Do you remember? I had a whole set of these brushes by Malika. It has to be synthetic brush, because if it's a real hair brush, it will soak up your product and you don't want that. And I will slowly start blending it out. And don't worry if it still looks. You go up and down and round, and go upwards, don't go downwards obviously. And it will still look quite scary, but that's what we have Beauty Blender for. And you know, to be honest, this is not something they would be doing every single day. This is more for, I would say, night out, or if you know you're gonna have your photos taken. And don't worry, because it all looks very scary, but we will sort that out. We just getting the shape right first. It looks like I've got a mask on. Then let's give myself this beautiful jawline. And I will blend that out with my Beauty Blender. Okay, so as you can see, it still looks a bit odd, but don't worry. Now you can take the Beauty Blender, but remember, with the bronze shade, go upwards, not down. So we like marrying together now these two shades, so we don't have, you know, those real lines. And I might not be doing it by the book, but as you all know, I'm not a makeup artist. This is how I worked out to do my cream contour. And that's the beauty with the cream. You can keep going on and on till you really blended it out. You can never really overdo it. Well, you could if you really wanted to. Okay, now I'm going to sharpen this line, which means I am going to go to the light shade again. And with the light shade, you want to, don't go right from there, but from about here, but a bit longer than the contour. Just go past the contour. and blend that one down. Okay, now go over all of this, because now we will have to set it with powder, and you have to set it because it's cream. Throughout the day it will just move around. So my under eyes I will set again with my banana powder. I'll probably set all my highlight areas with it actually. And now where the bronzer is, you will want to set it with a, if your contour is very dark, you could set it just with a translucent powder, but I can see my contour is a bit patchy here, so I will just go over it with a lightish bronzer. I don't want it too dark because it will look again all too dark, but you want to set it all so it doesn't move. I will take the Real Techniques blush brush because it is quite fluffy, and here I've got the Aesthetica Cosmetics powder contour, which is supposed to be a complete dupe for Anastasia one. So I take some of it, tap it off, and I just slightly go over that contour to set it. And the same round here. Now in the Aesthetica powder palette, this highlight's got a bit of lovely shimmer, so I might put that on the top of my cheekbones. Oh sorry, the light. Might put that on the top of my cheekbones because this is gorgeous. And I might put it above my eyebrows. There. And this is how I cream contour. As you can see, it does take a bit more time, but it is, I think it is more natural looking than powder contour. If it looks a bit too sharp, is probably because I did it a bit heavy-handedly, so you can see it, and also it's the lights. You know, I always tell you it's the lights that make it a bit sharper. That's basically how I do it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you soon. Bye.